News has learned a Fulton County Superior Court judge today denied bond to music megastar YFN Lucci.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about YFN Lucci. Now, YFN Lucci's been going through it in this legal system. He's had a couple of different court dates and run-ins with the law, and it all came to a head today in Atlanta in the courtroom. Now, YFN Lucci was in an Atlanta court via Zoom, and it looked like, man, he was trying to get bond. It seems like his lawyer in the last time that we covered this story was trying to find out a way to get Lucci a bond, even though he's facing this Georgia RICO indictment. Now, YFN Lucci turned himself in on May 10th of this year and basically been sitting in jail ever since, even though he was originally bonded on basically the same charge, man. It's a weird situation, man. Now, YFN Lucci's story gets even more interesting. Before we get to the details, though, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this YFN Lucci situation. Now, YFN Lucci has been all up in the headlines, man. Ever since he got originally pinched for that murder charge, man, it's been an up and down battle for him, and it's been more downs than ups. I'm going to keep it funky with you. Now, YFN Lucci's story got even more interesting today when he got denied bond. And man, I'm going to be referencing a news story from the local news there in Atlanta. And basically, the headline starts off like this. It says, judge denies bond for Atlanta rapper YFN Lucci. And the story continues to say this. A Fulton County Superior Court judge denied bond for Atlanta rapper YFN Lucci in a case involving a death and alleged gang association. Now, based on everything we know about the case so far, both of those things are why he got wrapped up in this Georgia RICO case with like 100 other people, man. It was basically the same charge he had originally turned himself in for. It got included in this RICO indictment in the state of Georgia, man. And they came out and said this was going to be the biggest RICO case ever seen in Atlanta's history. So it's going to be wild to say the least. Now, the story continues on by saying this. It says Lucci surrendered to police on May 10th on a gang-related RICO indictment involving allegations of felony murder and more. Now, let's not forget that in this court case, YFN Lucci has one of the best attorneys he could probably get in the state of Georgia. He's got Gucci Mane's old attorney from his federal case and his federal dealings, and he also used to work with Offset and pretty much anybody in the rap game who's caught a charge. Now, this dude, Drew Findling, is well known, and it looks like they quoted him with what he's saying here. Now, he says this. He says, my client is, Your Honor, an incredibly successful artist that is very well known nationally and even internationally. Lucci's attorney, Drew Findling, told Judge Thomas Cox during a bond hearing Tuesday. Now they're going to quote the judge, and he basically said this. He said, the defendant will remain in a no bond status at this time. Additionally, this court revokes any bonds previously issued in this case, Cox said. Now, Cox being the judge. And what's super important about that is, remember, YFN Lucci was already out on bond for the charge that got grouped in with this Georgia RICO case, man. So he's essentially in jail for a charge he already received bond for, and that's got to hurt. Now, in order to get a full understanding of what took place today in the courtroom, let's actually look at some of the video footage from the news there in Atlanta, and they covered a little bit of the court case for you guys to see.
Rayshawn Bennett had a bond hearing via Zoom video in which Judge Thomas Cox, in effect, ordered him held without bond.
The defendant will remain in a no bond status at this time. Additionally, this court revokes any bonds previously issued in this case.
Ms. Willis says Lucci had been out on a $500,000 bond for felony murder and other charges before the racketeering indictment, the same felony murder that forms the backbone of the racketeering case against him, in which Lucci, a gang associate, allegedly drove his new Maybach luxury SUV, and two alleged gang members who were passengers opened fire in rival gang territory.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man, and I know you're enjoying this video, but make sure you go and you follow me on social media platforms like Instagram, and also go to my Twitter page and make sure you hit that follow button there so you can get the latest and greatest updates of when I'm dropping my videos. And man, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button so we can spread this video around, and we trying to get 2,000 likes, so run them likes up. All right. Now, as you heard in that news story, it was a tough day in court for YFN Lucci. It looks like the judge and the DA said, forget that, man, and they denied his bond, and they were pushing to deny his bond. Well, the DA was. The judge just came down with the, with the denial and said that even previous bonds are denied. So that knocks out the fact that he wanted to rely on the fact that he was already previously released on bond. So it's looking like YFN Lucci is going to have to fight this one from the courthouse. Now, he does have good legal representation, and the story concludes by saying a couple of things here. Okay, so it says this. It says, the Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis told Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie that her prosecutors are using a YouTube music video that Lucci appeared in the racketeering case against him and 11 others. It also says, and it looks like they quote her here, and she says, we think it sends a very strong message to the public that no matter who you are, you have to follow the law and the rules, and you will be evaluated the same. Willis. So that's the DA. Willis said Lucci had been out on a $500,000 bond for felony murder and other charges before the racketeering indictment. The same investigation has formed the backbone of the racketeering case against him, in which Lucci, a gang associate, allegedly drove his Maybach luxury SUV along with 2 alleged gang members who were passengers when they opened fire in rival gang territory. One of those alleged gang members included James Adams. Now stop right there. James Adams is the guy that allegedly, man, got shot while there ain't no alleged to it. He was the person who was shot and died in this situation. You know what I mean? Now, it continues to say this. It says, there are individuals outside gathering at the back of a car, playing chess, holding a baby, Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Cara Convery says, and Adams was killed in a gun battle that developed. Then, a short distance from the scene, his body was dumped from the Maybach. So they're saying there was people outside with their kids, outside playing chess, when allegedly YFN Lucci and them pulled up in a Maybach truck and started busting. Now, this sounds crazy and like some movie stuff, but I mean, that's exactly what they said in the court today. So this is not me making this up. Now, it continues to say, he got treated like trash. Some would say, Willis said. Now, so basically they're saying when their homeboy, Mr. Adams, got shot, they just left him there. You know what I mean? They're trying to use that against YFN Lucci in the bond situation. Finland says YFN Lucci is innocent of all charges, not associated with a gang. So his lawyer is basically saying he has no ties to and is not associated to any type of gang as far as he's concerned. Now, it continues to say, based on what myself, Ms. Goldberg, Mr. Banks, and Mr. Dixon saw, there's no evidence that they were the first people shooting, rather the antithesis, Finland said. So basically, let me sum that up. He's basically saying that they weren't the first people shooting. They were just out there driving, and then they ended up returning fire upon being fired on. Now, Willis said Lucci repeatedly violated the conditions of his bond for the felony murder against him, and before he surrendered on the racketeering indictment. So basically, they're saying that YFN Lucci had violated his bond on the last chance that he got before he even turned himself in earlier last month for this RICO indictment, man. So YFN Lucci was out here wilding if that's the case, man, because you're talking about an amazing opportunity, man. Now, Finland said Lucci's legal team developed significant evidence showing that he did not violate the conditions of his bond. He also said, we're working this case so hard because, as you know, I have taken a very strong stance against gangs. It's causing a great deal of violence in our community, said Willis. That was actually the DA said that part. So the DA said that the reason that they're going so hard at YFN Lucci is because of the alleged ties to some type of gang or whatnot. Now, I've never heard anything or put YFN Lucci with any gang or anything like that, but you know, that's what they're saying. You know what I mean? So it seems like YFN Lucci is going to have to fight this one from the courtroom or fight it from the jailhouse, and his bond at this time, he gets no bond. So it seemed like they left the door open for there to be another bond hearing in the future and him to possibly get bond in the future. But we will see, because this RICO indictment is going to play itself out in the media, of course. Now, what do you guys think about this situation with YFN Lucci, man? Do you think that he blew his chances on the last time that he got bond? Or do you feel that the DA and everybody's coming at him particularly hard because he's a music artist and a famous rap star? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.